Happy lunch hour, gang. All right, I'm about to drop one hell of a truth bomb on you. Seems like I threw a match on gasoline this morning. Pissed off a bunch of people. Guess what? I don't care. Simply put, I'll tell you this right now, and this goes into all sorts of different aspects, but it is very pertinent for prepping. I don't give a rat's ass what anybody thinks. I'm not a snowflake, all right? And I'm hoping you aren't too. The best day of my life was the day that I decided I don't give a flying flip what anybody else thinks. I'm going to do what I do. Period. Take that to prepping, for example. How many of you have been told, oh, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your effort, yada, yada, yada. Why do you even bother doing that? The government will save you, right? I don't give a shit what they think, okay? You shouldn't either. Let me ask you this. Do you think Donald Trump gives a crap what Kamala Harris thinks about his policies? Do you think Taylor Swift gives a shit that I don't like her music? Do you think Joy Reid cares that I think she's the biggest racist in the country? Or do you think Joy Behar cares that half the country thinks that she's a fat old broad with no brains? Nope, none of them care. And they seem to be doing fine in their little world, just as I'm doing fine in my little world. This morning was really funny because shortly after putting out the video, we had people coming in. I love, there was one who told me I was a boomer. That was the start, which I'm not. I'm Gen X. That I was stubborn, even though I mentioned that I do own a little bit of crypto, and that I don't know anything about it. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Let's see, I had somebody else tell me that I was uneducated in crypto. Let me see how uneducated I am. You know, the guy that spent 7 years working on Wall Street and then made a career there afterwards of recruiting finance and technology executives. Yeah, I think I might know just a little bit. Okay. But this isn't about me. You know, it's somebody actually, I thought this one was funny. Somebody actually had the comment this morning, of all things that I talked about. I think it was, the video was 16 minutes long, and the only comment that they made was they didn't think I looked good in white. Okay, this shirt. Hate to tell you this, unless you're Karl Lagerfeld paying me to walk down the runway modeling his clothes, I don't care. Okay? Anybody that's watched me long enough knows very well that I have said I don't have all the answers. That differing opinion is fine. Just don't be rude about it. Okay? It's been the rule on this channel since I started it. I don't expect anybody to believe 100% or agree with, I won't say believe, agree with 100% of what I say. Hell, Mrs. P doesn't agree with 100% of what I say. It's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. You're entitled to your own opinion too. You're just not entitled to your own facts, to quote Daniel Patrick Moynihan. Okay. There was a good one this morning about somebody arguing with me about MicroStrategy and me talking about that in crypto. And their comment was, if you, MicroStrategy's selling their gold to buy Bitcoin. And a quick 2-second search would find that MicroStrategy's amount of gold they own is exactly 0. So if they're selling all the gold they hold, which is none, to buy crypto, which means they're buying none, you know. I laugh hysterically at people who think they have all the answers. And social media is full of it. I've said many times, I don't have all the answers. I can tell you about investing. I can tell you about finance. I can tell you about politics. I can tell you about gardening. I can tell you about weapons. I can tell you about constructing things. I'm not going to tell you how to rebuild a 350 small block, Chevy small block. I'm not going to tell you how to raise cattle. Those aren't things that I'm knowledgeable about. I'm not a fake it till I make it type guy. You guys know that when I talk about stuff, I will give you my sources of the facts, and then I will give you my analysis and my opinion of said facts. Agree with me or disagree with me is fine. The whole point, again, as I've said many times, is to get people to think. You know what? I never thought about it that way. That's kind of been my whole goal with this channel, to get people to think about something differently. There's many things in my life that I have changed my opinion on, okay? This is called gaining wisdom as we get older. Sure, when we were all teenagers, and there's not a soul alive that can deny this, we all thought we had all the answers, right? And then that funny little thing called life smacked you in the face and told you, no, you don't. Have things changed in your life? Sure. I mean, I'm old enough to remember dialing a telephone without having to include an area code. I'm old enough to remember playing records, LPs, because your only option was an LP or an 8-track, okay? I remember when cordless phones came out and you pulled the antenna out. Oh my God, I can walk across the house with this thing, right? I remember days before the internet. I remember when kids could go out and play, me being one of them, and parents not worried about us getting abducted. Yeah, okay. Things have changed. We adapt. Okay? Don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. Do I have haters? Oh, of course I do. Just like Donald Trump does, just like Taylor Swift does, and I'm not comparing myself to either one of them. Okay? There's lowlifes on YouTube who have fun picking on other channels. They think it gets them somewhere. It's kind of funny because it drives traffic to this channel, which is great, but say whatever you want about me. Here's my answer. I don't GAF, okay? What was it, W.C. Fields, who said any publicity is good publicity? Thank you, okay? It's very funny when people berate others for what they do or what they don't do, for when they berate you as being a prepper. Again, like I said at the top, oh, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money. Until, if you knew what I know about what's going on with these drones, maybe you'd think, gee, the preppers might have the right idea. And yeah, there's things I know that I can't say publicly. Intel that was gathered from one of you guys that you shared with me, okay? No, I don't have a direct line to the White House, Then again, I don't need the recipe for chocolate ice cream, so that would be about all it was good for anyway. But when people give you a hard time telling you, you need to do this, no, you don't. You don't need anybody's approval in life. Maybe your spouse, that would be about as close. Okay. The man upstairs, certainly. Okay. But I don't think you have a whole lot of choice in the matter there. But what your neighbor thinks, what your uncle thinks, what your cousin thinks, what your friends think. Don't give a flip. Period. You shouldn't either. Okay. Somebody could tell you, and think about all the things that you could have disagreements with. Some people are AR guys. Some people are AK guys. Okay? Whatever works for you. What's the best weapon to own? What's my answer been? Those of you that have been around long enough know the answer to this. Whichever one you're most comfortable with. The people saying, oh, everybody needs to own Bitcoin. It's the future. No, it's not. Okay? It's part of the future, but it's not the only thing. The people that start telling you that you have to do it their way, gee, who does that remind you of? Would those be the libtards who, unless you agreed with them, threw paint at you, were violent, went into post offices and schools with pew-pews? Okay. Those are the people that believe in groupthink, which works so well in China and North Korea, not so much in the United States. One of the things that made this country what it is freedom of speech. That First Amendment thing, that I can state my opinion and it's okay. Try doing that in China. Try doing that in North Korea. Okay. But that's what those people are advocating for. You have to own Bitcoin. It's the only asset that's worth it. Oh, okay. Da, comrade. Got it. Okay. Or you have to eat okra, right? Ain't gonna catch me doing that. You have to know how to do this or know how to do that. There's a whole bunch of skills I have that y'all don't know about, okay? There's a lot of them I don't tell you. Part of my OPSEC, okay? Things I know how to do that I don't share. Why? Well, it's kind of the same reason I don't share my given name or my address, okay? There's some things I like to keep private because you don't have a need to know. Some of you do, okay? It's all right. I respect you well enough that you will keep that private. But should you care? Do I care about what somebody else thinks? There was somebody on a live stream the other night who, after they didn't win the giveaway, this is boring, I'm leaving. Fine, don't care. This isn't an airport. You don't need to announce your departure, okay? Nobody asked you to be here. Don't care if you stay, don't care if you leave. There's plenty of people that are interested in hearing what I have to say. If you're not one of them, fine. I didn't ask you to come here anyway. It's the same thing with everything else in your life. I can't believe you're stockpiling bags of rice. I don't care what you think. I'm going to do it anyway. Just, hey, little tip. When you're hungry, don't come over and ask to borrow a cup of rice. Okay. It's one of the most freeing things in the world. Most of us learn it in our early 20s. Okay. Most of us. Well, let's put it this way. Most people on the conservative side of things learn it in their early 20s. The liberals, they don't ever learn it. Okay. Their feelings are the only thing that matter. I don't give a shit about your feelings. Don't worry about mine. Okay? Because you can't hurt them. Food for thought. Truth bomb. Pinball out.